Good evening. Hello and welcome to this edition of the Startup Central. I'm Nayantara working from home. This is the only show of its kind in Indian television dedicated to startups, technology, innovation, disruption, entrepreneurship. If it falls under the gambit of the new economy, it's here every weekday at 6 p.m. on ET Now. Ladies and gentlemen, like all the stakeholders we feature on the show, Team Startup Central thrives on constructive criticism. We can handle it. Keep writing into us, keep telling us, be constructive on how we can improve the show. What's missing, what needs to be added, what you never want to see, what must be seen. We love your suggestions. Our email address right on top, suc@etnow.tv. I'm also on Twitter. Feel free to reach out to me directly. Right, and with that, we're going to invite our first guest. Our first guest is the CEO of Paytm, Varun Sridhar, who is joining us here on Startup Central. Why are we getting Varun on the show? Because this may just be Paytm's biggest and most important leap when it comes to becoming a full financial services giant for wealth management as well. Paytm has issued a press release about how it's testing a beta version for stock market trading. Varun, welcome. Congratulations. We've been hearing about this for a long time. Now you're piloting it. You're testing out this particular feature on Paytm. Tell us a little bit about it. You are, of course, not a newcomer in this. There have been a lot of apps that have come out recently, especially in the digital world. How will Paytm and Paytm Money make its mark?
So thank you, Nayantara, for having me on the show. Very happy to be here. If you look at India and the way India is developing into this new age digital fintech environment, if there is one company that can truly bring to India and to Bharat meaningful financial execution, inclusion, that's Paytm. And if you look at Paytm with the kind of spread we have, with the kind of reach we have, with the kind of engagement and trust that's built out on the brand, and now on top of that, Paytm Money was launched, as you know, a couple of years back, and we got a revolution into mutual funds. Now, on top of that, we are adding our equity broking platform, as you know. If you look at the Indian investor, there may be four types of investors. There is one who does only cash or who's investing and saying, I will see an HDFC, Reliance, or other stocks grow over a 10-year, 15-year period. And that's like my corpus of wealth. On the other side, you have somebody a bit more advanced who says, hey, I want to be an active manager. Then you have a fairly new entrant into derivatives or futures and options. And lastly, you have the professional trader. And I'm excluding all the algo traders, all the high frequency traders. But if you look at these four segments, we think that Paytm Money should be able, together with the strength and might of Paytm and the distribution and trust, to truly disrupt by giving and working on three main pillars. So the first one is very simple. Our main strength comes out of doing technology and great user experience and bringing simplicity. Very similar to what all-in-one QR code has done to the Indian payment ecosystem. I think similarly, you'll see something from Paytm Money soon, which will make sure that investing and managing your money is super simple. And I think that's the first leg of technology. The second leg is protecting a customer's goal or making sure he or she gets there, right? Most customers either come in with the goal to save or to make more money of what they have. So capital protection for some is important. And for some others, it's about making more money, right? And I think our role there is to make that exercise super easy, transparent, and to build products that allow you to invest in markets in an easy way and not complicate with all jargon and trying to get you going crazy. So that's the second pillar, which I would call as making sure the customer meets his or her goals. The third, I think, is true to Paytm Money to bring about the advantage of cost to the customer and to pass it back with our scale. So you would have seen our pricing. I think we've come in at a very interesting price point, and we've got a product that makes sense. So we are hoping that those three pillars, together with the trust that our customers have given to us, truly allow us to disrupt in the near future.
Trust comes a lot of responsibility, Varun. So while your pricing is brilliant, you're talking about a 10 rupee entry point and all of that, and you want to go into Bharat, you are also going to have to be responsible, like I said, and educate on stock market trading. Is that part of the plan as well? Just creating awareness and therefore also growing the base of those that invest in the equity markets and also responsibly?
Right. So, I think brilliant question because you hit the chord where it matters the most, which is what I call learn first. I think, in India, the education system produces maybe one of the world's best scientists, mathematicians, engineers, doctors, but we don't learn how to manage money, right? This is the basic skill, but we don't learn it in school, we don't learn it in college, and we directly come and, try to swim in the ocean with sharks, fishes, and everything around. And I think that needs to change. Paytm has the reach, is a mobile first company to be able to make learning very simple. So we would, and you will see that happening in future, where we would be introducing education products, where we would want our customers to learn first, to be able to provide them very simple risk management tools. Let me give you an example, right? So let's say there's somebody in Indore or another city or in a metro city like Bombay, and there are these two customers. If you ask them saying, hey, if you make 100 rupees, how much would you like to save in, for example, direct equity markets? And, the answer would be maybe 20-20 on both sides. But if you ask one person, what's your risk appetite? I think it's a very tough question. Most people will not understand what does a risk appetite mean. But if you ask them in a different way, saying, hey, how much money would you like just in case things go wrong? If you lose, it doesn't cause a disaster in your life or in your financial planning. Some may answer 5 rupees out of the 20, the others may answer 15. And I think to be able to read that based on analytics, based on technology, based on language, and to be able then to say, okay, therefore we recommend you in 1 clicks or 2 clicks, a very simple way to buy a stock. And I think that's going to be the trick. So to combine investing together with education and merge both on a mobile phone in the language of the customer in a very simple way. So that's what we're going to try and do. But education, or what we call learn first, is going to be an important principle of ours.
You'll have to go regional. You're going to have to talk to people in a language that they understand. So are you going to roll out the education along with the trading platform? Is that the plan? Are you doing this maybe with the NSE or the BSE? And also let's not forget, the Paytm family has a relationship with some of the most astute investors in the world, like Warren Buffett.
Right. So, so Paytm comes with, I would say, a fantastic ecosystem, right? And I would say that ecosystem is made of 4 different components. On one side, like you correctly said, the world's best investor, is somebody who's invested in Paytm, and we're very proud of that. On the other side, you're very professional investors. So that's category 1. I think we have a great and fantastic relationship with the regulators and the exchanges and other participants from the government in India, which is necessary when you think of the core question on how we can bring 300 million Indians to save. Today, we talk about the largest entities in India, trading with a couple of million customers or near in that range. But I think the core question is, how do we expand the market to 300 million odd Indians? To do that, the first stakeholder is our investor, which brings value. The second is the government and the institutions, which bring value. The third, I very fondly say, is our merchants on the ground. They are our ears and eyes. They are the reason Paytm has these QR codes across. They have a lot to say, and I love listening to them. So I personally talk to them, meet them, and that allows me to know what they want. And last is the Paytm fans, customers, users. They are critical. I love it. They are pushy. They are demanding. They love us. And I think the combination of all those 4 with a fantastic team that I lead, I think if we're able to make it, we think with that combination, we're able to bring something very fresh to the market. So we're really going to try and ask ourselves how we can get maybe 100 million Indians to have an exposure to capital markets. That's going to be a core question for me and for the team.
So Varun, let me come in there. What's very clear is that you want to have a Paytm moment for the stock markets. What you did for payments, you want to do for the stock market trading. You told me how you want to do it responsibly, how it's going to be coupled with education. My last question to you is that when you want to go to Bharat and you want to make sure that somebody who wants to invest maybe as little as 50 rupees a month, or I don't know, I'm assuming 50, could be 100 rupees a month, 500 rupees a month, whatever it is, you're also going to help them in making that choice that, okay, you want to invest 1,000 rupees, you should go in for a stock X, Y, Z, so, or this is how to hedge it. All of this is going to be done electronically. And don't forget, you get one chance. If a person loses money, they'll probably even delete the payment app. So, there's a lot that's riding on it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think, you started quoting some amounts, but I think it's been my vision personally for some time. And I returned to India about 6-7 years back with one vision saying, hey, how could an Indian buy with 1 rupee a stock or enter the capital markets? I think we should start thinking at a rupee level. And as long as with the rupee level, a customer is able to come in, he's able to take his first steps. So what if there was a nice product which would allow you to be safe? And we would do the analysis for you for a basic customer. For a very professional option trader, the problem is there are almost 60 types of technical studies. And so the complexity is so high that you need to be a true mathematician to crack the markets, or you need to be an institution. What we're trying to do, Nayantara, the topic is as follows. Most retail investors in India who invest in direct capital markets don't get off making returns. And, that's how it's been. And we need to change that fundamentally. And you're right, we would love that the Paytm movement happens. And to do that, I think there's some very basic, simple things that need to be done. We'll try and do that on one side. And on the second, we'll try and appeal to the professional investor for whom platforms, high speed, outstanding products, derivatives, charts, all of those other things are important. So we're going to try and play both the segments and try and grow customers from one segment to the other with time, obviously.
It's going to be a very big challenge. Like I said, it could perhaps be your biggest business after the payment business, the biggest leap that you can literally take after the payment business, and a very important step to become a digital wealth manager and a full-time financial services firm. Varun, here's wishing you and everyone at Paytm all the very best. Thank you so much for joining us here and for being so candid. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short commercial break. On the other side, 2 COVID winners. We're going to be talking about telemedicine and the Prime Minister's dream of launching a national digital health mission. Voluntarily, you can get a health ID, which will have all your history, all your patient history for doctors and everyone together in one place. Blockchain, AI, all of that coming up. I'm going to talk to 2 of the best in business after this short break. Don't go anywhere.